But okay, today is Monday, and last week I told you what was the plan every Monday. What was the plan every Monday? Who remembers what to do? No? Anyone? You don't remember what to do on Monday? Okay, that's gonna be a negative. Okay, pay attention, guys, because we have a schedule, and every single week we have an activity per day. The first day of the week is introduction to the week precisely, and we are going to watch a video. Plus, I will provide you of the vocabulary so you can start studying this week everything that we are going to see on it. Okay, this week's topic is leisure. Who knows what is leisure? Nobody. Good. This is another way to call your free time. Activities that you do when you don't have to work, when you don't have to study, when you don't have any obligation planned, you have a leisure time.
It's like
So,
hangout.
like hang out, well, the hangout can be an activity that you do, a leisure activity, Hanging out is a leisure activity. Going to the cinemas is a leisure activity. Going on a bike ride is a leisure activity. There are
And
different
chill.
types of leisure activity. Netflix and chill, that's another leisure activity. You
Oh,
see?
yeah.
Yes, of course. So leisure is more like another form to say free time, right? In general. And then there are many activities of free time. Okay? The first thing that we are going to talk about is less technical than last week. Last week was a lot of medicine terminology, no? This week will be a little bit more relaxed, but with a lot of interesting vocabulary. When we have leisure, we are going to talk informally. So when we talk informally, we are going to talk about a lot of idiomatic expressions, phrasal verbs, and um, collocations, words that are commonly put together. Okay? The topic that we are going to start today is the week's video, talking about the cinema. The title of the video is Why Movie Theaters Aren't Dead Yet. Why movie theaters aren't dead yet. What does the title tell you? Who wants to say, what does the title say to you? What do you understand with that title?
Well, I think that is when a movie is released or is a new movie,
Mhm,
and you can find only in the cinema.
mhm.
You need to buy a ticket to watch it in the movie theater.
You need to watch it in okay, right. And why the title says aren't dead yet?
Why movies aren't there yet? Aren't there yet? I don't know. Maybe because there are some movies that you only can find in how do you pronounce it, theaters?
Theater. Yes, of course.
The
Theaters.
theaters, and that's why these places aren't there yet, because if you want to watch a specific movie, you need to go to this place.
Yeah. Instead of you say these movies are only in theaters, no, only in the cinemas. In what other places can we watch movies?
In the house?
In the house. How?
Con streaming service.
Excellent. Plural, one streaming service. En plural,
Streaming services.
excellent. There you go. Now today's connections, modern connections have more ability to stream very massive loads and packages of data, right?
Yeah,
So technically,
but
Rafa,
for example, the movie Avatar, The Way of Water, uh, the experience in the theaters was unique.
nice.
For example, in 3D or 4D, yeah,
It was
is
unique.
something. Is an experience unique,
Yes. Switch, unique experience.
unique experience. Yeah.
So you give and probably many of in these people or many people in this group give value to the experience, right? Do you think that's the reason theaters are not dead yet?
I agree with Rafa.
Totally. Especially when technology is going so fast, you know? Avatar, the Way of Water was a great show of technology reaching a higher level, no? Higher than the television that you probably have in your living room, no? Or the cell phone, because many people watch this in the cell phone, no? And many experts, many movie directors don't agree about watching a movie on the phone. Do you enjoy watching movies on the phone? So, and you say no. I don't see the rest,
Sometimes
but
No.
sometimes.
it
Rafa, what do
depends.
you say? It
It
depends. What?
depends. Yeah. Well, if I want to watch a movie, a new movie,
Hmm,
for example, I don't know, yeah, the Avatar.
yeah,
I I going to the theater
sure.
because it's something special. But if I want to repeat a movie, yeah, I don't care if I use my cell phone or the TV.
Mhm. How do you? How long can you stand the hand in this position? For how many
Now I
minutes?
put the cell phone in a right position
Ah, okay, like on
to
a
watch it.
table.
Yeah,
Wow,
yes,
that's too small, no?
yeah.
Yeah, this is what a different experience, no? To watch a massive screen with the best technology in front of you versus the smallest screen on a table, probably when you are doing another thing like probably eating,
But
no?
usually people use laptop or TV.
Even laptops. How many? I have seen many people enjoying movies in the laptop. And even iPads, for me it's very small, but many people enjoy it. I don't know about you. That's very interesting. Now, also I saw Robert saying no. Why did you say no, Robert?
No, no. I didn't say it not.
No, yeah. When the question was, do you enjoy watching movies in the cell phone? And you
No,
said
no, no.
nah.
Yes, yes, yes. No. I agree with Rafa because it's very the screen is very small,
Mhm.
and when I saw, well, I don't see movie. I prefer see series
Ah,
and
okay.
put my cell phone in the arm, or
Mhm.
how can I say it? Mhm.
Stand probably.
Okay, stand.
Mhm. And that's the way you watch series. Wow, that's very interesting. That's actually interesting. Yeah, because many people, okay, let's say single people of our generation, Our generation don't have more than one television, like probably two televisions, no? That's too much, no? Or you have more than two televisions?
No.
It's a lot. No, I only have one, and that's it. So when I'm in my room, the option is YouTube on my cell phone, no? So that's the thing. Michael said, sometimes. Why sometimes?
No, I said I didn't like
Totally.
watch in cell phone or on computer. I prefer in television. I don't know how you describe the television screen, a big screen or what?
Sure. A big screen, you can say.
Yeah, a big screen because I think it's very small for my eyes.
Definitely, I agree with you. And you wear glasses, no? So
Yeah.
it can be exhausting to watch a movie in both ways. That's
Yeah.
definitely the thing. Well, you are exactly giving reasons why movie theaters have a massive popularity even after the pandemic. After the pandemic, we thought, and many movie companies, including the Mexican ones, thought that the cinema was dead, that the cinema was going to die very very soon, and there was a lot of controversy on the distribution of movies during 2020. Many companies learned and had learning opportunities during the crisis, and these lessons come in this video. Let's see how much you can understand about the video, what lessons they got, and how much you can understand from it. Are you ready? Let's watch it. Let me go through the browser because it's gonna work better. One, two, three, action.
On November 22nd, 1995, Toy Story was released in theaters in the US. You couldn't take it home to watch it on your VCR until October 29th, 1996, 11 months after it opened. This is called the theatrical window, when a movie is shown only in theaters, and it's gotten way smaller over time. Toy Story 4 was released in June of 2019. To watch it at home, you only had to wait about 3 months. This shrinking window is the result of a decades-long fight between movie theaters and movie studios. But how much smaller can the window get? Are movie theaters close to becoming a thing of the past? Thanks to a Supreme Court case from the 1940s, movie studios and theater owners in the US are separate entities. For a while, the only way to see a movie was to go to a theater. But pretty soon,
Television, VHS, DVD.
The days of theaters being the only way to watch a movie are long gone. To defend against those new competitors, theater owners have struck deals with movie studios to give them a window of exclusivity before a movie could be seen in any other format. Movie studios agreed because it worked for them too.
We created these windows because they were really good for the motion picture business.
That's Mark Zorati, a former Disney executive
From 1980 until 2010,
but today he's
the CEO of Cinemark Theaters.
the third largest theater chain in the US and Canada. Theater owners generally want a longer exclusive window because they only make money while a film is in theaters. And even then, they're splitting ticket profits roughly 50-50. But movie studios have the opportunity to keep making money long after a film is shown in theaters. In fact, it's become essential for studios to recoup their investments on expensive films.
In order for you to break even, then you've got to go right down the line at multiple bites in order to make that all back.
In the beginning, the minimum theatrical window was quite long, but obviously,
Over time, that's shrunk. With the introduction of DVDs, you had a window at roughly 6 months.
The window prior to the pandemic was essentially 74 days before a movie would go to electronic sell-through.
that means a digital release you can buy on a platform like iTunes.
And then at 90 days, they would take it to DVD, VOD, and then after that, they would take it to pay television or streaming. That's kind of how the sequences.
But studios haven't always gotten their way. In 2010, Warner Brothers' parent company proposed a window of 30 days, which theater owners didn't agree to. Netflix challenged the window a few years later, planning a movie release in IMAX and on Netflix at the same time. Major theater chains banned their films. One studio has been really persistent, though.
Universal has been probably the most public and aggressive about wanting to shorten the theatrical window.
In 2011, Universal made plans to release the film Tower Heist on demand 30 days after it hit theaters. Some chains threatened to not show the film at all. Universal ultimately backed down and kept their window at 90 days. Ultimately, theaters need studios because they need movies to show. Studios need theaters to make big money and get big press. And that mutual need kept things stable for a while. Until
theaters shut down due to the global pandemic.
Movie theaters were forced to close their doors.
They've been trying to survive the coronavirus pandemic.
Bankruptcy could be in AMC's future.
The power dynamic shifted a lot during the pandemic.
in 2020, studios had newfound leverage, and one company struck while the iron was hot.
Universal had this movie, Trolls World Tour, and they had two options. One, they could delay it, or two, they could test what they've always wanted to do and put the movie in theaters and on video on demand on the same day. And the caveat there is that there weren't any movie theaters open to play it.
Trolls World Tour quickly became the highest grossing digital release ever. It made more money for Universal in 3 weeks at home than the original film did in its theatrical run. NBC Universal's head of film told the Wall Street Journal, "As soon as theaters reopen, we expect to release movies on both formats." In other words, in theaters and on demand at the same time. The two biggest theater chains in the US fired back by saying they'd never show Universal films again. But things were different now. The major film studios had restructured to make streaming their primary focus. Warner Brothers released their entire 2021 slate in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time. Disney and Universal made a similar move.
With that upset came time for theater owners and Universal and the other studios, frankly, to start having those conversations and working out about what the future looks like and what a post-pandemic model is.
In 2021, the major theater chains made deals to shorten the window. Disney, Paramount, and Warner Brothers agreed to a 45-day window in 2022 and onwards. But Universal got its own deal with the big theater chains. They agreed to give theaters a portion of their video-on-demand revenue, and in return, they secured one of the shortest windows ever. 31 days for their biggest movies, 17 days on their smaller movies. But one thing that's noticeably absent from all these deals is any sign of a same-day release strategy, where a movie comes out on demand and in theaters at the same time. At what seemed to be their most powerful moment, studios decided to keep the theatrical window in place. That's partly because movie theaters are still pretty big moneymakers for studios, but it's also because movie theaters can sort of change how the public sees a movie.
Streaming customers value theatrical release more highly. It carries with it sort of an aura of quality.
It eventizes a movie. It's a shared experience that helps become almost like a zeitgeist within the culture.
The pandemic shifted the power dynamic towards movie studios and away from theaters. But it also showed that they still need each other. That doesn't necessarily mean theaters will be around forever, but if they can survive a pandemic, maybe they're stronger than we thought.
What do you understand? Who wants to start? I'll wait. What are you processing? What are you waiting for? Who understood? And what did you understand?
In my case, I understood the film company had to split or take a decision. Yeah, the film company took a decision about the movie watch in theater or in a streaming platform.
Who watched the theater in the theater or streaming platform?
The theater, the movies.
No, who?
Who? The customer?
Exactly.
Yeah. This decision was because the theater was closed by COVID, the pandemic.
Right. And what decisions did they take?
Their decision was I present the movie the same time or the same date.
Good. That was one strategy. Excellent. Present the movie at the same time. At the same time, what and what? What do you mean?
The same time in the platform, streaming platform and the movie theater.
Nice. Very good. Huh?
Yeah, that's it. I want
That's
to.
it.
My partner has other opportunity in this.
You are such a good person, Michael.
Yeah.
Very bad. But okay, perfect. Okay, the first point is the someone, because you didn't tell me who, but someone decided to take both what is the name? Both releases at the same time. Because
Release date, no?
Present, exactly, it's release day. Release day at both the streaming service and cinemas. Right? That was the first strategy. I am very interested in this part because I want to know if you remember this specific strategy in Mexico. Did this happen? Do you know anything about this?
Yes, well, I remember that there was a case between Disney and this actress Scarlett Johansson because he has some issues with especially with her movie. I don't remember exactly, but I think that it was released at the same time at the theaters and in Disney Plus. So then they start a legal, how to say, legal process because she wanted to earn a part of the money that the movie was making in the stream and how to say streaming.
The streaming service.
Yes, the streaming service, and also I think that there were a few more movies that were released only in streaming services, but I don't remember the name of the others.
Okay, you don't remember the name of the others, but let's take that that as a first glance. You said Scarlett Johansson. Let's talk about your example. Let me give you vocabulary so you can explain a little bit more what you want to say. A legal process in English is called a lawsuit. A lawsuit is to claim that you have rights after a problem you have versus a person or a company. This is precisely the name of the legal process, right? And when you make a lawsuit, you say file as a verb. To file is to create. This is vocabulary for B2. The expression is file a lawsuit. Right?
Could you repeat that part, please?
Yes. When you file, you create and make a document. Official.
Oh, yes, yes, I got it.
A document officially, And one of the best examples to file something is to file a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Right? Which is the...
Or could it be also when you go to the doctor for the first time and they create like your document for your records or something like that?
Well, that's a very interesting one. Is file noun versus file verb.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes.
When you are talking about the doctor, that's the file, the noun, the concept, the document. I'm talking about the verb.
Okay, yes, I get it.
Right? So this is to file a lawsuit. And you mentioned that Scarlett Johansson filed a lawsuit against. This is the collocation that we have.
Yes.
No? So can you repeat that part of Scarlett Johansson?
Sorry?
Can you repeat the part of what you said about Scarlett Johansson?
Yes, Scarlett Johansson start a lawsuit against
filed.
File. Oh, sorry, file a lawsuit against Disney. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Against Disney, right? Why do you think she was so angry about that?
I think that it was because, according to the contract that they signed, she how to say she will receive a part of the money that the movie was like how to say like gathering in the theaters. However, she will not. Or she has in past. She had.
She what again? How do you say what?
Sorry, I'm trying to say it in past because it is something that it already happened.
But what? What do you want to say in past?
That she wasn't receive money from the streaming services.
She didn't.
Yeah, she didn't earn money from the streaming services.
Exactly. Well, that's the word. Didn't earn or didn't receive.
No, I just get confused.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Do you know the name of the money that is gathered when a product is released?
Maybe a profit?
Exactly. That's another word necessary for this. Profit.
Yep.
Precisely. So she wanted a piece of the profit, but she lost profit because her movie was released on a streaming service without her consent.
Yes.
No? What a difficult issue. This is very well. Scarlett Johansson had a very difficult situation because her movie or her contract was done many years ago before the movie was released and before the pandemic. So technically in the document, in the contract, there was no stipulation that her movie was going to be released on the streaming service. That's the reason she was like, hey, what happened? My contract doesn't say that.
Yes.
No? That was a massive issue from a very bad movement from Disney.
Yes.
That was a very good example. Now, what else happened in that year? What other example do you remember from movies happening at the same time in the cinema and in the streaming services? What movie did you watch? You wanted to go to the movies and you couldn't.
Well, I listened the Pinocho was released in streaming and movie theaters at the same time.
Okay, that's more recent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Is that a good strategy, a bad strategy?
I don't know. Well, Guillermo del Toro, uh, he I don't know what. How can I say? He did want.
What is the
Yeah.
past of want?
Sorry.
What is the past of want? Present want, the past.
No remember.
It's a regular verb.
Irregular
Regular.
or regular.
Regular.
Wanted.
Wanted. Exactly. Can you repeat your idea?
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro wanted to release his movie in a lot of movie theaters in Mexico, but
Right.
movie theaters like Cinépolis and Cinemex, they didn't get their collaboration, and yes, that was a problem.
Oh, interesting. I didn't read about that news,
Yeah.
but yeah, that could be a problem because the movie could make more money, no? If you put a theater between.
Yeah, and for Mexicans, yeah, but in the end, the movie was released just in a few movie theaters.
Exactly.
I watched the movie in Netflix.
Yeah, me too. Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And it wasn't just a few. There were, I think it was the National Cineteca and a couple of art cinemas, but not the most principal, and that was very surprising to me.
Yeah.
That was very surprising. What do you remember about the video about this matter? What do they say about this?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah. What do you remember from the video? What information from the video do you remember about this situation? Movies and cinemas at the same time.
I don't remember. I didn't understand a lot of the video.
Yeah. Are they speaking fast?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. The last video of medical medical object subjects. I understood more than this video. I don't know why.
Number one, because the topic was more, let's say, more information that everybody knows. Like it was information that a lot of people can know about. And number two, there is a lot of vocabulary in this one.
Yeah,
There's a
I
lot
think so.
of business vocabulary, money vocabulary, distribution vocabulary, and etc. So it's very, very juicy.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the vocab?
Yeah.
Check this out, guys. Take a screenshot of Roberto's face. It's like Jesus Christ.
Well, it's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's not impossible.
Even split green don't show up. Okay.
Right, I'm going to take some modification because I need to check if we have regular or irregular verbs and collocations. I need to put some cookies all over the list. Also, as you notice, for example, here are some words that are incomplete. I need to complete this one and this one and this one. So if you want to give it a read, let's give you 5 minutes to read every single word that you have in front, and then we are going to play the video again. Right?
Okay. Cool.
So let me give you 5 minutes. Is Sylvie there? Can you speak? Are you free to speak?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect, girl. All right. Just wanted to know because we are going to study this list in 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, action.
Teacher, I have to disconnect early today, so I will be leaving the class in a few minutes.
Oh no, okay.
But I will ask Silvana about the rest of the class.
For the recording, yeah, sure. And I can pass you the recording if you want.
Okay, well, I think that's better. Okay,
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem, man. Very good. Is there any question?
Teacher, yeah.
Rafa.
Yeah. Look, release verb and release noun.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, release verb, well, we know that a verb is an action, but the release noun, it says the act of setting a person on an animal free. So I don't understand why.
Okay, probably you are confusing act with action. You know, act is just like the concept of what we are doing. You know, not the action per se, but there is definitely something about setting. Probably this is an idiomatic expression. Setting free. When you set something free, I think the synonym is liberate. Here it is, you know, for everybody to see. Right?
Okay.
So you put, for example, a domestic, let's say, a lion that was in a zoo for the long time. You cannot release this lion because they won't adapt to the wild life. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And when you are talking about products, is when you let other people buy your product.
Okay.
You see?
Cool. Yeah.
That's a release. Release can be precisely, as you say, a noun, the concept, or the action of releasing.
Okay, cool.
What else, guys? There is another one that I came to my mind. When we are talking about the movies that happen every month in the cinemas, they are called release 2. New releases, or Thursday release, or, you know, that's the name.
Okay.
Anyone else?
The last one, zeitgeist. Zeitgeist.
Good. Very good pronunciation. Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist. It's not the definition. It's not clear for me, or I don't understand.
The general mood or quality of a particular period of history, as shown by the ideas, beliefs, etc., common at the time. Okay. How can I say that? Take a period of time. Take a period of time, let's imagine from the 2000 to the 2010. Okay? In that decade, people used to, they had a massive fear of buying online. People didn't like to put their credit card information on the internet. And then after Amazon started getting popular and Mercado Libre started getting so many reviews, the second decade, from the 2010 to the 2020, it was a massive difference, right? Well, you can see the contrast of two zeitgeists. The zeitgeist from the 2010, when people didn't like to buy online, and the zeitgeist of the 2020, the 2010, when people started buying a lot online. Okay. That's why it's a mood. The general mood of the people, no? As shown by the ideas and beliefs common at the time. It's like in general, how people feel about something in a particular period of time. All right. Let's practice. I'm going to play the video again. Let's see if you can catch more information.
On November 22nd, 1995, Toy Story was released in theaters in the US. You couldn't take it home to watch it on your VCR until October 29th, 1996, 11 months after it opened. This is called the theatrical window, when a movie is shown only in theaters, and it's gotten way smaller over time. Toy Story 4 was released in June of 2019. To watch it at home, you only had to wait about 3 months.
Yes, Rafa.
Teacher, I can watch the video.
Oh, it's very small over here.
Ah, just listen.
Just listen.
Okay.
Yeah.
This shrinking window is the result of a decades-long fight between movie theaters and movie studios. But how much smaller can the window get? Are movie theaters close to becoming a thing of the past? Thanks to a Supreme Court case from the 1940s, movie studios and theater owners in the US are separate entities. For a while, the only way to see a movie was to go to a theater. But pretty soon,
Television, VHS, DVD.
the days of theaters being the only way to watch a movie are long gone. To defend against those new competitors, theater owners have struck deals with movie studios to give them a window of exclusivity before a movie could be seen in any other format. Movie studios agreed because it worked for them too.
We created these windows because they were really good for the motion picture business.
That's Mark Zorati, a former Disney executive.
From 1980 until 2010.
But today, he's
the CEO of Cinemark Theaters,
the third largest theater chain in the US and Canada. Theater owners generally want a longer exclusive window because they only make money while a film is in theaters. And even then, they're splitting ticket profits roughly 50-50. But movie studios have the opportunity to keep making money long after a film is shown in theaters. In fact, it's become essential for studios to recoup their investments on expensive films.
In order for you to break even, then you've got to go right down the line at multiple bites in order to make that all back.
In the beginning, the minimum theatrical window was quite long.
Let's stop over there for a moment. We are going to comment that in a moment. Let's go with Jessie to get attendance. Hello, Jessie.
Hi, thank you. Good night.
Hi, night.
So I will take attendance, please.
Yes.
Mike.
Present.
Hi, Mike. Thank you. Robert.
Here.
Thank you, Robert. Rafael.
Here.
Hi, Rafael. Good night.
Hi.
Silvana. Here. Hi, Silvana. Good night. And Isaac.
Hi, thank you.
Isaac sí vino,
He was
pero
here also.
Ajá.
Yeah.
Se tuvo que salir temprano.
Yes, thank you. So that's all. Have a nice night.
You too. See you later.
See you.
Thank you, you too.
All right. Continue.
But obviously,
over time that's shrunk. With the introduction of DVDs, you had a window at roughly 6 months.
The window prior to the pandemic was essentially 74 days before a movie would go to electronic sell-through.
that means a digital release you can buy on a platform like iTunes.
And then at 90 days, they would take it to DVD, VOD, and then after that, they would take it to pay television or streaming. That's kind of how the sequences.
But studios haven't always gotten their way. In 2010, Warner Brothers' parent company proposed a window of 30 days, which theater owners didn't agree to. Netflix challenged the window a few years later, planning a movie release in IMAX and on Netflix at the same time. Major theater chains banned their films. One studio has been really persistent, though.
Universal has been probably the most public and aggressive about wanting to shorten the theatrical window.
In 2011, Universal made plans to release the film Tower Heist on demand 30 days after it hit theaters. Some chains threatened to not show the film at all. Universal ultimately backed down and kept their window at 90 days. Ultimately, theaters need studios because they need movies to show. Studios need theaters to make big money and get big press. And that mutual need kept things stable for a while. Until
theaters shut down due to the global
Movie
pandemic.
theaters were forced to close their doors.
They've been trying to survive the coronavirus pandemic.
Bankruptcy could be in AMC's future.
The power dynamic shifted a lot during the pandemic.
in 2020, studios had newfound leverage, and one company struck while the iron was hot.
Universal had this movie, Trolls World Tour, and they had two options. One, they could delay it, or two, they could test what they've always wanted to do and put the movie in theaters and on video on demand on the same day. And the caveat there is that there weren't any movie theaters open to play it.
Trolls World Tour quickly became the highest grossing digital release ever. It made more money for Universal in 3 weeks at home than the original film did in its theatrical run. NBC Universal's head of film told the Wall Street Journal, "As soon as theaters reopen, we expect to release movies on both formats." In other words, in theaters and on demand at the same time. The two biggest theater chains in the US fired back by saying they'd never show Universal films again. But things were different now. The major film studios had restructured to make streaming their primary focus. Warner Brothers released their entire 2021 slate in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time. Disney and Universal made a similar move.
With that upset came time for theater owners and Universal and the other studios, frankly, to start having those conversations and working out about what the future looks like and what a post-pandemic model is.
In 2021, the major theater chains made deals to shorten the window. Disney, Paramount, and Warner Brothers agreed to a 45-day window in 2022 and onwards. But Universal got its own deal with the big theater chains. They agreed to give theaters a portion of their video-on-demand revenue, and in return, they secured one of the shortest windows ever: 31 days for their biggest movies, 17 days on their smaller movies. But one thing that's noticeably absent from all these deals is any sign of a same-day release strategy, where a movie comes out on demand and in theaters at the same time. At what seemed to be their most powerful moment, studios decided to keep the theatrical window in place. That's partly because movie theaters are still pretty big moneymakers for studios, but it's also because movie theaters can sort of change how the public sees a movie.
Streaming customers value theatrical releases more highly. It carries with it sort of an aura of quality.
It eventizes a movie. It's a shared experience that helps become almost like a zeitgeist within the culture.
The pandemic shifted the power dynamic towards movie studios and away from theaters. But it also showed that they still need each other. That doesn't necessarily mean theaters will be around forever, but if they can survive a pandemic, maybe they're stronger than we thought.
Everybody will tell me at least 2 ideas you understood using the vocabulary that you have in front. Okay? So let's start with Sylvie. Start with you.
Of course, teacher.
You can do
Okay, well, what I understood is that, well, I think that the video was about the history of the movies. It starts telling us how long was the window between the release of the movie and the I don't know how to say the time when the movie came out in the TV. On the TV.
Watch out, watch out.
Came.
That's conjugation incorrect. Incorrect conjugation. In present is con. So if it's in present, it's comes.
Comes.
But if it's past,
Came.
Came. Without the S. So are you talking in present or in past?
In past. Came.
Came. So on time.
Okay, and I catch that the window was longer in the beginning. It were we have to wait like 11 months after we saw the movie in theaters, and we can buy the DVD.
Watch out. If you are talking in past, you cannot use can. Every time you speak about abilities in past, use could.
Good. At the time when we could buy the DVD,
Exactly.
and that window is coming smaller.
Very good.
I remember that in the pandemic it was super strange because we can see the movie at the same time. Isaac told us about told us about Black Widow, but I remember that Cruella was a good example too because many people watch it, but the actresses, both actresses, didn't receive the profits
Very
or what
good. Yes.
the profits on the release on I don't remember how to say in but on Netflix and streaming.
Oh, streaming service.
On streaming services, and I don't remember a lot about the the
That's
video
it.
because it was a little bit longer.
Perfect. No, perfect, because you used some of the words that we are using precisely, plus the word profit that we saw in the previous slide, right? So precisely, it was waiting, using the window, or waiting a little bit to watch it in your house when today was at the same time, no? Like Corellas, or what happened with Black Widow, and many others, right?
Yes.
Good. Excellent,
And
excellent.
I remember something about my childhood.
Oh.
That it's nowadays there is a word for meme in English.
Meme.
Meme. Okay. There's a meme about movies like I don't know. Toy Story 2 is going to release on TV Azteca.
Okay.
Don't you see that kind of memes?
No, I haven't seen that one. But what is it? What is the point of the meme?
The context is that we are now nowadays. I think that the last Toy Story movie was like 4 or 5. I don't remember.
4.
But yeah, 4. And the meme is that I don't know. Tomorrow is going to
Yes. Well, actually, that's a very interesting part. There is a second window, no? There is the theatrical window. Then there will be the release window, probably in the first 2010s, 2020. No, on the 2000s, no? When you could buy the VHS or the DVD. And then after that process, there was a television window where after a time where you can buy the movie, then you could watch it with commercials on TV, no? And then after
like
that
2
became the
years
public.
after,
Like 2 years after, that's right. That's really interesting. I haven't thought about that. Even though it was a meme, it was a nice point. A nice point of view. Very interesting. What I'm saying. Very good. Very, very nice. So let's see the thing about the windows, guys. Tell me another 2 ideas. Help me, Michael.
I understand the theater shut down. Shut down when I don't know when the pandemic started.
Right. Pronunciation. What did the theater do?
Theater?
No, what did the theater do?
Shut down?
Shut, exactly. Shoot is different.
Yeah, shut down.
Shut down, okay.
When the pandemic started.
Present
Another
start, past.
Started.
Exactly.
Other is upset. The man explain about the upset between the Universal versus other studios.
Right. What happened with that?
The Universal delivery his movies.
Watch out, Universal is not a man.
Is it? Okay. Universal deliver its movies.
And the verb is not deliver because deliver is a different thing.
The
you
release?
have the verb here. Exactly, release is the verb.
Okay.
What's
the Universal?
By the way, release is a regular verb. What is the past of release?
Released.
Correct, complete idea.
Okay, the Universal released its movies during 40 days, maybe?
Yes.
Because the other is more time.
Yes. Very different time.
Mm-hmm.
Good, very good, man. Very, very good. There you have it. Excellent two practices. That's what happened to Universal. Do you remember what happened with the other studios? What they did?
Netflix, Disney, another released its movies. I don't know. Remember what is the problem?
Okay, so you remember about Universal.
Uh-huh.
That's good. Perfect, perfect. Let's go now with Rafa. Two ideas using the vocabulary.
Yeah, I wanted the last quote. Movie theaters are stronger without.
Yeah.
I like a lot that.
Oh, the last one, the
well,
last idea. It was pretty precisely. It's a
the
nice.
last idea. Yeah, I understood more this last time. Well, the movie producers.
Producers.
Producers. Yeah.
Yes.
The movie producers now they have a commercial strategy with the streaming platforms and the movie theaters, because where before they just had a small window to this film maybe, but now they can multiplicate multiply their profits, their gains with commercial strategies in different channels. They can release their movie in Netflix, but also in movie theaters, but also in TV Azteca, like Silvana said. And yeah, it's a way to multiply their profits.
Nice. Excellent, excellent practice. Very, very good comments about the video. All right, perfect. And what about Robert?
Okay. Okay, I listen that the for a minute. Okay, I listen that the studios needs theaters, and theaters need the studios to do big money and big press. No?
Perfect. You don't do money. What is the verb for money?
Make?
To make money, exactly.
To make big money and big press.
Excellent, correct.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Or elaborate that idea.
Well, I think that okay, this part is true, or I agree with this idea because it's well, I think that it's earn to earn, or
Yes.
yeah, or win-win, no?
Win-win situation. That's an expression in English.
Win-win situation. And what else? Because well, in this case, the studio produced the product and then, well, the movie or release the movie, no?
Okay.
And then they sell to the theater, no?
Yes.
Or something
Yes,
like
of
that.
course.
What else? And the other sentence that I listened at the beginning is the Toy Story was released in 1994 in VCR,
Okay.
no?
In VCR, that's right. But what happened before? Or do you have the story?
The story?
Yeah, about the release of Toy Story.
I know.
Okay, so that's gonna be a complementary homework to
Okay.
check what happened with the video. Well, you know, you have all the week. Watch the video again. Check what happened with Toy Story. Understand every detail and everything that happened. Okay.
Okay.
Very good participation. Very nice. Something before we leave. Do you know the difference between listen and hear? Because I have this with Robert. What is the difference between listen and hear? That's a pretty B2 thing.
Listen is comprehension.
Well, kinda. No. Heard is comprehension.
Okay.
If it's very different to say I'm listening to you than to say I heard you. Present here and past heard. If you hear something, you understood. Well, no, if you speak in past, I heard something, you understood. If you listen, you are not understanding. You are just like let's say you listen to music, for example. Not with the objective of paying attention to the music.
To pay attention, no?
If you hear the lyrics, you will understand a lot. Right? That's the difference. So in this case, you didn't listen, you heard.
Okay, I heard. Okay.
That's a nice contribution, but that's gonna be it for today. Let me complete the vocabulary so I can pass it to you. Don't screenshot yet if you don't want to. I'm gonna pass you the complete list tomorrow. Right now we finished with the class. Excellent job, guys.
Okay.
Very good class.
Thank you, teacher.
Have a good day, man. See you, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye, Sylvie. See you later.